Hey, what's up, everybody? We're two guys who vape. I'm Will.
I'm Nick, and this is the Mod Pod. So today what we're going to be doing, we are going to be breaking down our Freebase e-liquid from our salt nicotine. Now, the brands that we have here, we have Keep It 100, and we have Pod Juice. I mean, the flavoring and the brands don't really matter per se, but in our e-liquid here, this is a 70-30 mix of VG-PG, that is vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol. Now, most of the stuff you're going to see in your vapes, you got your nicotine, you got your sugars, you got your flavoring, you got your VG and your PG mix, and that's, for the most part, what you're going to be seeing in these vapes. Now, your e-liquid and your Freebase are going to be good for about everything that we do in our vaping industry, in our specific stores. So you can have your regular sub-ohm tanks, you can have your pod device tanks. They all work for the e-liquid rather than the salt nicotine aspect, which we're going to be getting into with Will.
So as far as your salt nic here, salt nic you're going to want to be using in your pod systems. Like I personally have the Sonder, like I was saying last week. As far as that, it's going to give off a much smaller cloud. I'll actually give you guys a quick example. Big box mod here. Pretty big cloud. Then we have the little pod system. Whole lot less. So basically the difference in that hit there is going to help you determine what nicotine level you're going to be choosing. If you have one of the bigger box mods here that pushes out so much vapor, you're not going to want to use a little salt nic that has 55 milligrams. That's basically a quick way to get nicotine poisoning. What you want to do is use one of your pod systems that's going to give off a much smaller hit. With that smaller hit, yes, you are going to be getting less nicotine, but it is going to be a lot safer. On top of that, if you do start getting that like fuzzy head feeling, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm getting that nicotine rush, that means it's working." That is not, I guess it is a nicotine rush, but it is basically your body telling you, "Hey, I have too much nicotine in me, I am in the early stages of nicotine poisoning." So if you ever do get to that point, don't just be like, "Oh, it's working, I feel good right now, let's keep on ripping." Put your device down for a little bit, give yourself a break, and let your body recover before taking that next hit. But overall, I feel like that is just one key way to look at salt nic versus Freebase, just because it is a very big difference, especially hit-wise.
Also, not to interrupt you or anything, but so on your bottles of your salt nicotine, like on the actual casing on the outside of the box and on the bottles, there is a warning on here that they do show, and it says not for sub-ohm use, do not use the sub-ohm atomizers and or devices, only for low wattage mouth to lung devices. The amount of nicotine that salt nicotine puts out is just way too much for your box mods. And now when we tell some of our customers that we have e-liquid and salt nicotine, a lot of them hear it and they're like, "Salt? Like, what do you mean salt?" It's just a little bit different in the fact that there is more content per volume of the nicotine. It's just, in these, there's so much power compared to the so much amount of nicotine that it actually possesses. That's why you get your possible nicotine poisonings from it. That's why we have e-liquids based off of these that actually work, that give you the correct amount of wattage that you're supposed to have, that you're just going to have a good time and get the nice flavorings out of it and get that nice nicotine feeling from it.
Now, I know earlier we were talking a little bit, and you did bring up a pretty decent comparison with fishing, referring to like the whole fishing line to the pound of fish that you wanted to go for. You want to say that real quick?
So basically, if you are out and you're fishing for bass and you have a 10-pound test line on, you're fishing for largemouth bass. I mean, around here, for the most part, you're going to be catching fish under 10 pounds or around 10 pounds. That's basically this equivalent here. You're using the right equipment for what you're supposed to be going for. Now, if you go deep sea fishing and you have a 10-pound test on it, right? If you have that 10-pound test, which I'm just going to use this as vape here, and you lock on to something real big, I'm just going to use this box here. You're going to have a very, very bad time because there's so much power, like we were talking about before. So it's pretty prevalent to understand what you want to have in your setups, and that's why we're here. We help you guys out with everything. We're going to set you up with a device that's going to work for you, not just oh, this one has a pretty color, I like this flavor. We're not going to put you in a situation where you're going to get yourself hurt or anything like that.
I like that. I like that a lot. But I think we're at that point of the episode today where if I was Guy Fieri, I'd be taking everybody to Flavor Town. That leads me to my next question for today. Nick, top 5 favorite fast food places. Shoot for the stars.
Top 5 favorite fast food places. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Number 1, I'm probably going to shoot with Wendy's. I'm a big Wendy's guy. I love their burgers. Love their chicken nuggies. I'm a huge fan of it. Chick-fil-A, I'd probably put second. I'd put Chick-fil-A second. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good one.
Third one, this is where I'm probably going to get the most hate. I love Arby's. I'm a big Arby's fan. I'm keeping them in business, you know what I mean?
Okay.
4 and 5, I mean, it kind of differentiates depending on really what I'm feeling. And I mean, where we are, there's not much that's kind of out of the realm, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have any Raising Cane's or anything like that. You got to travel 2-3 hours. I mean, McDonald's is there. McDonald's is it's top fast food for a lot of people. And I guess I'd put KFC at 5. I'd put KFC at 5 for myself. What about you?
All right, so this one kind of tricky because I'm a big fast food person, but number 1, I'm not going to count Chipotle into this, even though they are very fast. Love Chipotle. If you never had it,
Chipotle is amazing. Chipotle is amazing.
So for this, we're going to take them out, not say they're fast food, but in that case, number 1, Taco Bell. Number 2, KFC. 3, Arby's. 4, Wendy's, and 5, we'll just throw the classic McDonald's in there.
You're a huge Taco Bell fan.
Oh,
you know that?
Oh yeah, I am keeping Taco Bell in business, $40 at a time.
It's nice too because the Taco Bell right out across the street from our St. Clair location. So it's nice. You're coming in later on a day, you get your Taco Bell.
Always,
you're good to go.
Must do. But I guess that's going to be all we have for you today, guys. Make sure to check out the page. I know I personally have a bunch of shorts on there going into all the different little devices and everything we do have out in the store. But until next week, guys.
Keep chasing them clouds.